This is the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour, supported by Albertsons and broadcasting live from the Omni Frisco at the Star.
Here we go. Run Z.
Brought to you by
Miller Lite, the only beer of the Cowboys. Albertsons, the official supermarket and pharmacy of the Dallas Cowboys. Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Bacardi, live passionately, drink responsibly. Bacardi. And by Mahindra. Find your nearest Mahindra dealer at TexasMahindraDealers.com.
Now, your hosts, Taylor Stern and Brad Sham.
Welcome, everybody, to the Omni Frisco out here as the rain has stopped, and we are joined today by none other than 14th year LP Ladouceur. And we have 4th year tight end Geoff Swaim. And then I know they said on the intro that we were going to be joined by Brad Sham, which is normally true. But tonight we have a special guest in Kristi Scales. So thank you for joining us, too.
Well, thanks for letting me pinch hit for Brad Sham. And Brad stayed back in Charlotte. He's on his way back to Dallas today. Rosh Hashanah began last night at sundown, so he stayed back in Charlotte to observe the holiday and is on his way back. And I appreciate you guys letting me co-host with you tonight.
Yeah, we'll have some fun.
You bet.
We will. And the rain just has stayed with us for 2 days now.
It's kind of like yesterday in Charlotte.
Yeah, LP, a lot of people talk about simulating the rain. Do you do that? Is that just a myth out there?
Oh, no. We definitely simulate it. And the thing we do is we bring these buckets in practice, and we'll dunk the balls, and so I can be ready for Sunday in case there's rain. Same thing if there's, cold, or we'll put ice in the buckets and just kind of practice that way.
Geoff, did the weather delay with the interruption in the pregame, I know it affects both teams equally, so it's not like it's any kind of competitive advantage, but we had the situation in Denver last year, but did that kind of throw anything off yesterday?
Not really. The delay yesterday was a lot shorter than we've had in the past. I think last year in Denver it was quite a bit longer, and I had one when I was playing at Texas where it was couple hours. So
really, wow.
Yeah, yesterday wasn't too bad.
Yeah, there were rain delays all over it. I heard that Miami didn't even have a halftime, so at least there was still a majority of a game there. Yeah. And then you guys fly right back, and you're here today, which is so exciting. We're happy to have you. And 14th year, I said that earlier to introduce LP. You are now the oldest player on the team. How does that feel? In a compliment, of course. That's a compliment to stay in the league that long.
Well, I still get to hang out with 24-year-olds.
Yeah.
They keep you young?
They keep me young. And, age is just a number, right? And I'm happy to still be playing this game. I get to have fun every day. I come into work and laugh. Great camaraderie with all the guys. You can't really beat that.
Well, only 4 players in the illustrious history of the Dallas Cowboys have played more seasons than LP. And one, of course, is Jason Witten. But the others are, Bill Bates, right? Mark Tuinei, great left tackle who actually started his career as an undrafted free agent. He was actually a defensive lineman before he moved over to offensive line. And then, of course, Ed Too Tall Jones. And LP, do you know which career number game you have coming up on Sunday against the Giants?
Yes,
over 200, I know that.
If you guys didn't realize that Kristi is a encyclopedia.
I like the numbers, and actually it's going to be number 207.
Okay.
And what's going to be really exciting, 207 consecutive games, but what's really cool is 2 more after that, and then you'll be tied with Hall of Famer Randy White.
Oh, wow.
And
wow.
Yeah, which is amazing. So how does that feel to have your name with all of the, next to all of these greats?
Yeah, it's great. He's only played a few more snaps than I have.
Do you keep track of those numbers? Do you guys?
Don't.
Do you, Geoff? Do you ever think of this is my 50th game or?
No. I was trying to do some math in my head while you guys were talking about how many games LP's played, but my math is slow, so I can't even figure that out right now. But no, I don't really think about it too much.
I know. I feel like I would, but then you just get into the rut of it.
Right.
May I throw one more number at you? I'm going to ask if this number means anything to Geoff or to our audience here tonight at the Omni in Frisco. 1,871. 1,871.
No clue.
Okay, no clue. All right. LP, 1,871.
That's got to be the number of snaps.
That's right.
Yeah.
That is consecutive mistake-free snaps for LP
Hey.
through his first
Big cheers.
206 games. No, really, Geoff, I just, no pressure, but you're sitting next to the only player in Cowboy history that's never made a mistake on the field.
No, it's a rare occurrence, man.
Rare. That is awesome. No, I think it's cool. You brought up Jason Witten earlier, and of course, you were in the room with him, and now he's left, and you're the leader of that room.
Mm-hmm.
How does that feel? Was that a challenge? Were you excited for that?
Yeah, it's always a challenge, but the opportunity that comes along with it is big as well. Everything Whit brought to our team and to our tight end room specifically always came from a good place. Great leadership, very knowledgeable, great work ethic, things like that. And so with him being gone, it's our turn to step up and see what we can make of it. And so kind of by default, I'm the older guy in the room, and so my job is just to work as hard as I can to prepare the right way, to make sure that all the tight ends are on the same page and that we're preparing the best we can.
Yeah. But another interesting thing is, you talk about in the offseason revamping the receiver core and the tight end core and the departure of some longtime veterans. But I think that people kind of look past all of the changes among the offensive and defensive assistant coaches. So Doug Nussmeier is new to the Cowboys staff, and he's the tight ends coach. And so what's it like working with Doug, and what has he brought to the room?
Yeah, he's brought a lot. First thing he brought is just energy. He has a real passion for the game, and it's pretty evident in the way he prepares and how he runs his meetings and things like that. But he also has a different perspective because he played quarterback, and so he's able to look at things from the mindset of what a QB likes to see in terms of route running and what he looks at for indicators on routes and where the ball's going, progression, stuff like that. Right. So it's been big for me in my development to have a guy like that who can tell me things to look for when I'm running routes so I can be friendly to the quarterback.
Yeah. And LP, you also have now Keith O'Quinn was promoted in the offseason from assistant special teams coordinator to special teams coordinator, but then we also have a new assistant this year, and that's Doug Coleman. So, and of course you get new special teams guys, the players every year, because it's a lot of young guys that come in, but how have things changed for you and those two coaches? How have they fit in?
Well, Coach O'Quinn, we've been together. He was a scout for a long time. He was here when I got here in 2005, and so we've known each other, 14 years almost. And our rapport is really good. The rapport that we have, with Chris and Brett now, with him, he understands kind of our jobs because he's been around as an assistant under Rich for 2-3 years, and him taking over the job, you can tell same mentality. We want us to play hard. He's got great passion, great emotion when it comes to the games, practice, and he wants to see us succeed, which is what every coach wants for his players. And then with Doug is new, and and we have Philip Tanner as well, an old player. He's helping us as well. And they've done. We try to get a good bond, all of us together, and it's been fun with KO.
Real quick before we have to get to our first break, of course you said Brett now, and I think that's the elephant in the room is that since I've been here, the trio was you, Dan, and Chris.
Right.
So now with Dan gone, is that a weird feeling? How did you handle that this week?
Yeah, it was weird for sure. You never really expect something like that, and especially we've been practicing together for 7 years now. But Brett came in and he did a great job in camp, and we knew that he had a great leg and a very capable kicker in this league. And just unfortunate for Dan, but it was great for Brett, and we're looking forward to this this season with him.
Yeah, have you spoken to Dan since?
Yeah, have a few times, and he's very positive, which is great.
That's good. All right, well, before we take our first break, we are presented tonight by Omni, this great place where we're at. Next time you travel for an away game, here's how to make the most of it. Stay with Omni Hotels and Resorts. They have 60 premier locations coast to coast with things like world-class spas, championship golf, and great dining. Visit omnihotels.com to learn more. Omni Hotels and Resorts, the official hotel of the Dallas Cowboys. And tonight, LP's wearing boots. He's got to get himself some Lucchese boots. Lucchese Bootmaker is now open at the Star in Frisco. Shop from a variety of world-class handmade cowboy boots, as well as all new signature apparel and accessories. Visit their brand new store today and experience the tradition that is Lucchese Bootmaker. We will be right back on the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour, supported by Albertsons.
Back to the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour,
Supported by Albertsons.
and broadcasting live from the Omni Frisco at the Star.
We are back here in Frisco. It is clearing up. It's turning out to be a nice night. Guys, it's going to not be even close to the hundreds this year, or this week.
It feels good. It's nice and cool.
Yes, it's going to be nice and cool. Again, we are joined by long snapper LP Ladouceur, tight end Geoff Swaim, and Kristi Scales filling in for Brad Sham tonight.
I appreciate the opportunity to co-host tonight. And I wanted to follow up with both of you in regards to special teams, because we were talking about the new kicker, Brett Maher, before we took the break.
Yes, pronunciation, Brett Maher. There
That's
was some
right.
confusion to that.
And we know he only got the one field goal attempt yesterday. And so I think Cowboys fans, talk everybody off the ledge. Why do you, each of you individually and the team, still have full support and faith in Brett Maher?
Well, for me, LP probably has better insight to this than I do, but seeing his body of work over the preseason was impressive, and he obviously has a big leg. We saw that in Houston, but it's one kick and a long string of kicks, and then it's a long season, so there's no reason for us to panic or do anything like that. I mean, it'd be the same thing if one of us dropped a pass or, interceptions, things like that. That stuff happens, and the body of work over the course of the season is what counts.
Yeah, and he hit it very solidly.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, from the sideline, honestly, I thought it was good. In fact, I'm pretty sure that it hit the orange little flag. It was
did.
within inches.
The wind was swirling yesterday with that storm. The flags at the top of the stadium were going one way, and the flags on the uprights were going the other way. So as soon as the ball got up, the wind affected it a lot more than where we were at. But he hit a great ball. You can just see the wind just at the end just took it the other way. But his confidence, he came back. He's like, I'm ready to kick another one, and that's how you had to approach it. Kind of like a corner, you're going to get beat. But if you get that one pass breakup or that one interception at the right time, then you become a hero. Kickers kind of like that. You got to wait, and then the kicks are going to come, and they're going to come in bunches.
But long snapper as well.
Correct.
Yeah.
We got one play.
Right.
One play that can really affect the outcome of the game.
Yeah, Kristi and I were talking a little bit pre-show about some interesting stories and things we wanted to know about you both. And I've always heard this, and Kristi knows about it more than I do, but I'd like to hear from you, LP, about your journey to the Cowboys, because it was the fact that a long snapper is a unique job in the NFL, and it matters because you get a couple chances in a game. And so your story of how you came to the NFL, Kristi briefly was sharing it with me.
Take us back to 2005, week 4.
Yeah, we had a workout when the Cowboys were playing San Francisco and Oakland, and they were right after the San Francisco game had some issues with snap and kicks, and I was in California, went to school there, and somehow got a workout on a Wednesday morning, gave me the job, and that's kind of how I got on. Very random, but yeah, I mean. 14 years later, go figure. I'm still here.
But literally, this is kind of like real estate. Location, location, location. When you say that we were out in San Francisco, that was when Bill Parcells was head coach, and we had back-to-back games, San Francisco followed by Oakland. And so rather than fly back during the week, we stayed out there.
That's right.
And in fact practiced at San Jose State University. The team was staying in Fremont and then drove down the interstate and would practice each day at San Jose State. And you were near, didn't you, one of the reasons why you got the call is you were, well, of course
close.
You had played at Cal Berkeley,
right.
but you were in driving distance.
Yeah, and Sean Swaim was a kicker on the practice squad, and we had the same agent, and so that's how we kind of tracked the team down, because we had no clue where they were. We thought they came back to Dallas, but they, since they were playing the Oakland Raiders the week after, I just drove down on Tuesday night and spoke to the great Bruce DeHaven, and I came down and had to work out in the morning with Jerry and Bill in the back of the bus, and it was a little loose. But it worked out, and snapped in the game on Sunday.
Yeah.
It
It actually worked out well, even for the person that LP had replaced. What happened was, going into that season, the Cowboys had moved on from Jeff Robinson, who was a veteran, longtime deep snapper, and he had snapped 3 years here, and decided to go with a young guy named John Kondo. And in the game at San Francisco in week 3, John was errant on a couple of the snaps, just a little bit off, but enough to make Bill Parcells uncomfortable. And so John was let go with LP being signed. But the good news is that John snapped for 13 years in the NFL,
in
mostly
Oakland.
with the Oakland Raiders. So
It's funny how things turn out. I remember, Geoff, when you were drafted in 2015, right?
Yep.
And you were seventh or sixth round?
Yep, number 246.
And it was, I think we were all thought all the picks were done because they traded up, got you in the 7th round. And I remember when you came in, you were just very calm, cool, collected, as you are now. And you said, I was just on a walk with my wife, Lauren, and I got the call.
Yeah.
You were just very calm about it. But is that what happened?
Yeah, I quit watching after the 4th round.
Frustrated or just?
Yeah, a little bit. And I didn't really have much of an expectation of what was going to happen with me. There had been some talk about later rounds, most likely a free agent. And so I had seen some things during the draft that I thought was not right, so I quit watching, and I just decided that we were going to go for a walk. And then we were at a coffee shop, and it's the middle of the 7th round. That's when the teams start making all the free agent moves. So they're calling guys and, trying to see what's up. And I was fielding calls from 3 or 4 different teams, and it was kind of getting hectic. And then Dallas called me, and I wasn't watching the draft. I didn't know what was going on, and so I was under the impression that this was a call about being a free agent as opposed to a draft call. And then I forget who was on the phone initially, and then they put Mr. Jones on, and then I kind of went, oh, okay.
Oh, this is serious.
Yeah, now I know what's going on. But yeah, it was a whirlwind. I wasn't really expecting it at that point. I was talking with other teams about, kind of weighing my options where I wanted to go as a free agent, so definitely a surprise.
I love hearing that story.
Well, it excited a lot of Texas Longhorns fans having to hear. No, I think that because you played for the Texas Longhorns, that fans may assume that you're, a homegrown product from the state of Texas. But like LP, obviously LP originally from Canada, but played college ball in Northern California. You're a Northern California guy. So how does someone get from Chico to Austin?
Well, I grew up in Northern California in a little town called Chico. My wife and I both did, and after high school, I didn't have any offers to play football anywhere, so I went to play football with my brother at a junior college, Butte Community College. Shout out.
Shout out to you.
And then I just decided to go play ball with my brother. Played 1 year, and my offensive coordinator, Coach Snelling, at my junior college, he happened to play football at Boise State when the offensive coordinator for Texas, Brian Harsin, was the quarterback coach there, or the quarterback there, excuse me. And so they had a connection, and I don't know if my junior college coach reached out to him or they reached out to my junior college, but somehow or another they kind of found out about me and came out to watch the workouts and things like that and make sure I didn't have 2 left feet. I could run and do, I could do football stuff. And then I had a scholarship, and then I actually stayed 1 more year in junior college before moving to Austin. Now,
what did your family think of this? I mean, obviously they're excited for you to go to a great program, but that's a long way from home.
Yeah, I never really had that discussion about whether or not what I should or shouldn't do. I'm going to do this. The bigger question was whether my wife, who was my girlfriend at the time, if she was coming out or how we were going to kind of work that out. But once we figured that out, then there wasn't much of a discussion or a decision to be made. It was, this is what we're doing. And didn't really think too much about it after that. I just kind of went and did it.
Needed your support system.
Yeah, I did.
You needed that.
Yeah, look at how it turned out. She gets to come to the Omni on a Monday night.
Omni Frisco here.
That's right.
Enjoyed the fried asparagus, tempura, and all that
And
kind of stuff. Yeah.
You brought it up. LP, raining all the way from Canada, very far from home. Of course, we had Tyrone Crawford on last week, who always gets the questions. You get the questions all the time. What is the number one question people ask you about being from Canada?
Number one question.
Maple syrup?
I mean, hockey, I guess. Yeah, maple syrup. I don't know. Put me on the spot there.
And when I was looking up, you played defense in high school when you were in Canada.
Yeah, played defense all the way in New Orleans when I was there for the Saints. Played in college, obviously. And, yeah, I was kind of I punted, I kicked, I snapped, I played on kickoff return, played defense, played linebacker, and kind of play it all.
So Jeff Heath gets the note for being the versatile guy on the team now, but really it was you?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Oh, we should have Jeff Heath deep snap it, and then LP can be the backup kicker.
I think we need to see that now.
Yeah.
You've given away your
Jeff's
secrets.
really good at it.
When you were drafted by the CFL, was that as a defensive lineman,
Yeah,
and you were still in college?
Yeah, and the CFL, they can draft you 4 years out of high school in Canada. So that happened my junior year since I redshirted. My brother called me and said, "Hey, did you know you were drafted?" And I was like, "From what?" And they didn't even, it's not like a big thing.
They didn't have a red carpet at AT&T Stadium and
nothing.
wall-to-wall coverage on 3 networks?
That's how it is.
But did you consider it?
I just started a master's program at Berkeley, and it didn't seem right. I wanted to finish my senior year. We had a really good team my senior year at Cal in 2004, and good players, and I thought we'd maybe get to the Rose Bowl. We fell short, but no, I don't regret that at all.
Yeah.
No.
Well, when you say, my master's program, when you go to speak, in both of you as Dallas Cowboys players often get asked to do community events, including going to schools. And so when you talk to the kids about the importance of education, and then I know you're not taking your diplomas with you, but what is your message to them?
Well, football, the only way you can actually play football is you have to go to school. Hockey, where I'm from, you don't have to. You don't have to really go to school. You can play hockey, and they made not the minor system, but like the junior system. And so for me, hockey I just didn't feel like it was the right path for the kids. And so football, now in my province, it's 3 more times schools have football programs, and there's just a lot of emphasis on football in school. And so, my main thing is, if you can go to school and get a free education, especially if you go to college, you got to take advantage of it, and because it opens so many doors down the road.
Absolutely. Jeff, real quick before we go to our second break here.
Yeah, I had an opportunity to speak to some junior high kids in Arlington. My position coach at the University of Texas is now the assistant athletic director for Arlington High School.
Oh, wow, that's awesome.
So I got to speak to them just briefly, and really just talked about opportunity and finding things you want to do, and then the importance of work and sacrifice in order to get there. Because you've heard that quote before. I heard it from Denzel. He said, a dream without a goal is just that. It's a dream, but eventually it fades. And that's kind of the talk that I had with them, was more about finding something you want to pursue and then following through and pursuing it the right way. So.
Well, thank you guys. We're going to take our second break here. We're so happy to be out here at the Omni Frisco tonight with LP and Jeff. And thanks to Jack Black. Want to use what the pros use? Jack Black is the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys. Get your Jack Black Playmaker 4 JB Faves plus a full-size lip balm for just $10 with free shipping at getjackblack.com. Use code Cowboys. And also, big shout out to Albertsons. When it comes time to shop for tailgate favorites, go to Albertsons and Tom Thumb. Get 10% off your groceries every Dallas Cowboys game day when you wear your Cowboys jersey. Albertsons and Tom Thumb, the official supermarket and pharmacy of the Dallas Cowboys. We'll be right back.
Cowboys Hour.
Supported by Albertsons.
And broadcasting live from the Omni Frisco at the Star.
Welcome back, everybody. We are getting to know LP and Geoff, joined by Kristi. I'm Taylor Stern. We're having so much fun out here. Aren't we, guys? Aren't you just having a blast?
Really appreciate y'all coming out on a Monday night.
Yeah, whenever I see LP, one of my favorite things to talk to you about is golf.
Yeah.
Because this guy is a big golfer. Geoff, have you played golf with him?
No, but I play mini golf.
Mini golf.
Yeah, I'm pretty good.
So, LP, are you going to teach Geoff? Are you going to take him under your wing for golf?
No.
I guess not. Yeah, he doesn't want to.
He just
I'm
seems
sure
so-
he's willing, but I don't have the patience or the skill or the hand-eye coordination to play
Yes,
golf.
he does.
Yeah,
I
you
just
play tight
got to
end.
get him out there.
Yeah, but that's more like hitting people and like running fast and stuff. Golf is like tedious and like
Yeah,
a lot of concentration. you know?
what's the great Mark Twain quote?
About golf?
Golf, a good walk ruined.
Yeah, that's right.
Because, you know,
That's what it
LP, nowadays it's Witten and Romo went to go be a broadcaster. Romo's still dabbling with the web.com tour.
Right.
Are you going to just go full golf mode?
Oh no, I'm not as good as Tony is. He's in another league. No, I enjoy the game. I enjoy just walking, getting my kids out there. Get on a golf carts with the wife on a Friday afternoon. It's fun. We just take trips and go play different golf courses around the United States. That's fun. But other than that, no, it's more for leisure.
How old
segue.
are Wyatt and Annabelle
They're
now?
3 and 5.
Okay, so
They're starting.
yeah, enough to put a club in their
Oh, yeah.
hand, the plastic kind,
Yeah.
from play school with the big ball. And
Oh no, they got real clubs.
they
and
do have
real
real
golf
clubs,
ball.
really?
Yeah, I take them out. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Huh.
see, that's what I keep thinking now that I've started playing golf. And I mean, I'm just very amateur level, started in January. I'm saying, oh, I wish I had started when I was 3 and 5 and done all this. So they're lucky to have you guys.
I hope so. I hope they enjoy it. I do. I
Jeff's
enjoy
going
their
to take
company.
his kids to mini golf.
I will take my kids to mini golf, the kids that I don't have yet.
But
When I have kids, they're
Yes.
going to mini golf every Friday.
every Friday,
Yeah.
they'll be the
They're gonna
best
get
mini
really good.
golfers
Yeah.
in the state of Texas.
Yeah, well, for LP Ladouceur, I have a prediction that once you decide to hang up your helmet and cleats, that you would be the best host for a travel show.
Hey.
Because I know you have been and Brooke to so many exotic places, and is that seriously, is that something that you would consider, or have you ever talked to anybody about doing that?
Not really. I'd like to travel some more. That's for sure.
In terms of a
the last-
show, I'm serious.
Right. Yeah. Last 5 years, with the kids have been more at home. But before then, we traveled a little bit more. But yeah, I mean, it'd be great to host one of those shows and kind of
Okay.
talk about where we've been. and
But fill me
where we're
in.
going.
Where have you been? I
some
want
of
to
the-
know some of these.
Yeah, exotic places.
Well, we haven't been really anywhere exotic. We
Oh,
got
come
married in the Caribbeans. Been there a few times. Been to Mexico a few times. Went to Europe. I don't know. Just did a lot of big trips around Canada and the United States. We haven't been the big exotic. Went to South America, I guess. But
That's exotic.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, it's just South
Every
America.
place you just named, I pretty much haven't been.
Yeah.
So exotic enough for me. Jeff, you go on any big trips?
Well, I'm not much of a traveler. I'm kind of a homebody, but Lauren likes to travel, and so
So
we
you
go.
like to travel.
Yeah, so I travel now. I'm a great
Smart
traveler.
husbands
Yeah.
up here. We
I
have
know.
some smart husbands.
So good at it.
Well, Geoff Swaim gets the award for the coolest photo in last year's Dallas Cowboy Family Cookbook, the one that benefits Happy Hill Farm.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
And this is the one
If you guys could
of
see
Jeff
it,
and his
streaming
brother
live.
Yep.
in a helicopter. And what are you doing in this helicopter? This is a photo where it's from the side.
It's the coolest-
helicopter's on the
Yeah.
ground,
I get the
luckily,
award,
for this photo.
I get the award for the cool photo, but my wife gets the award
For
for the best
taking
wife.
it?
She bought me. Was it last year or the year before? The year before. I think it was
Lauren
the
is
year
out in the
before.
audience,
Yeah,
so
it
he's
was the
having to
year bef-
check with
I
It
need to
was
get
the
a
year
picture
before
of
last.
this. I'll tweet it
and
out.
she bought for Christmas a hog hunting trip out of helicopters, and so I was able to bring my little brother out, and you go up in the helicopter, and the guy let me bring my guns that I like to shoot, and so we got to hunt from the helicopter, and it's more of a pest control thing because they are feral pigs are a huge issue in Texas. I think I read something, there was 3.5 million feral pigs just in the state of Texas. And so the farmers actually sign up to have the guys hunt on their property because they tear up their crops and they cause a lot of damage to the habitat. So I get to enjoy hunting, and the farmers get
making the world a better place.
Yeah, does that count towards your community service for Dallas Cowboys?
So.
It should count towards our goals for our community service and volunteering.
What
with
a
the
creative gift! I'm gonna use that one, Lauren. So thank you. I'm gonna just steal that idea right there.
It's a great gift.
Yeah, we were talking about what you guys would do post-career. Of course, talking about first Brett Maher earlier, but tonight, Jason Witten premieres in his Monday Night Football debut. How do you guys think he'll do? You think he'll be this broadcaster for life?
I think he'll be good. I mean, I don't see any reason why he wouldn't be.
He's pretty much good at everything, right?
Yeah, he's pretty dedicated to the things he does, obviously, and so he'll do well. We saw him. We were out in when we were in Oxnard. Tight ends went out to dinner, and we were at some restaurant in I don't know, next to Oxnard somewhere, and we look up at the TV, and there's Witt in the broadcast booth doing his thing, and it was just odd to see him, you know, cause
not at the dinner.
Exactly, yeah, and but he's intense as always, and very knowledgeable and passionate, so he'll be great.
Yeah, OP, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, just seeing what Tony did last year and his success, you know, obviously I just think Jason is going to do great. You know, he understands the game more than anybody. He understands defenses. He understands special teams. He understands. I mean, he knows the game as much as anybody else out there. So I don't see why he wouldn't be a good color analyst.
Yeah. You know, the thing about tight ends, and Geoff, this is something that we talked about in the locker room. I don't remember if it was OTAs or mini camps, and it was when we were talking about Doug Nussmeier, the new tight ends coach here for the Cowboys. And I had just spoken with him about tight end being the most difficult position after quarterback to play at this level. Yeah. Now, LP may want to inject in here and say, no, it's not tight end, but it's so multifaceted. Could you share why you agree with Coach Nussmeier or not?
Yeah, there's obviously a sense of pride about the job you're doing, so part of that, you know, is a factor as well, you know, and you like to think you do a tough job and you do it well, but the challenge at tight end is combining the different aspects of offense into one role, and you know you're asked to be a run blocker and a receiver, as well as the occasional pass protector, and so you know working on your craft throughout practice is a challenge because you know the offensive line, they work on run blocking and pass blocking exclusively, and receivers work on catching the ball and blocking in space, and we work on you know all three of those things. And so, you know, finding the time during practice to work on them, and then, you know, developing that mindset so you can transition from route running to pass protecting to run blocking, you know, that's the challenge. And I found that the more I played, the faster you can transition in your mind from a run down to a pass down, and think about your technique and the job you're asked to do in really quick split seconds. That's the challenge of playing tight end. So.
Yeah, and could you talk more specifically, you talk about how you have to do all of those different things in practice. Could you say how some of the individual drills and the reps are split, you know, how that is allocated within the practice time? Because I think that the fans who come out here to the Star in Frisco and maybe attended some of the training camp practices each of the last couple summers, you know, they see the wide receivers out there running the routes or going one-on-one against the corners, and you guys get some against the safeties. But how is that allocated when you're having to divvy up so many responsibilities?
Yeah, it's a challenge. We usually spend the first portion of practice working with the tackles to make sure that our combination blocking is where it needs to be. And then, you know, after that, we spend a good majority of our practice running routes because that's something you focus on, you know, third down, situational football, you know, red zone, short yardage. That stuff comes up every game and a lot during the game, and so you want to focus on that. But more than anything, it's studying film, being prepared, and getting the mental reps when other guys are in, and, you know, watching the tackles to see how they move and where I need to be on a play. So it's just kind of organizing things in your mind and taking advantage of reps and time management in the day it's a critical
Yeah,
thing.
that's the thing. You have a change along the line, especially at tackle. I mean, it's like a domino effect.
It is.
With you.
Mm-hmm. Well, we will hear more from LP and Geoff, and even from some of our fans here at the Omni Frisco. And next time you travel for an away game, here's how to make the most of it. Stay with Omni Hotels and Resorts. They have 60 premier locations coast to coast with things like world-class spas, championship golf, and great dining. Visit omnihotels.com to learn more. Omni Hotels and Resort, the official hotel of the Dallas Cowboys. And of course, Lucchese Bootmaker is now open at the Star in Frisco. Shop from a variety of world-class handmade cowboy boots, as well as all new signature apparel and accessories. That's a hard word. Visit their brand new store today and experience the tradition that is Lucchese Bootmaker. We'll be right back.
To the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour,
Supported by Albertsons.
and broadcasting live from the Omni Frisco at the Star.
Sun is finally shining out here in Frisco. We're so happy to be joined again by LP and Geoff Swaim. It's so exciting tonight with Kristi Scales. You've been
Thanks
great.
for letting me fill in for Brad Sham for those who are just getting in their car or tuning in along the Dallas Cowboys radio network. Brad Sham will be back for next week's Cowboy Hour. He is actually flying back from Carolina today, and that's because last night, Rosh Hashanah, and so Brad stayed there in Charlotte in observance of the holiday, and so he's on his way back. So thank you for letting me co-host and be here with LP and with Geoff.
The sun is shining finally. We're getting some cool weather moving in, and we have some excited fans here who've come all the way out to the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour. We have some questions for you guys. Are you ready?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, I'm here with Larry. He has a question.
Yes, this is for Geoff.
Yeah.
Before my question, I want to wish you a happy early birthday for this Saturday.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Happy early birthday, Geoff.
Thanks.
My question is that, do you feel that you can extend your performance with the Cowboys in another 5-10 years?
That would be amazing. My wife and I have really come to enjoy Dallas, the city itself. And I've been blessed by this organization to have this opportunity. I have great teammates and coaches, and so if I get the opportunity to stay here, it's definitely something I'd be very interested in.
Yeah. And 3 catches last night. That's a strong start to the season for you. So, yeah, congratulations on your strong start.
Got Rudy here with a question.
Mr. Swaim.
Yeah,
I'm a huge Witten fan.
that's right.
Okay.
I can see that.
He's wearing a number 82 jersey.
Now let me tell you, do you still seek advice from him and call him every once in a while? And
Well, Witt's a busy dude. He's got a big job now, obviously, and he has wife and kids and things like that. So I was fortunate enough to learn from him for such a long time, and 3 years went by fast. But I also had a lot of time in a room with him talking football, and so I was able to pick his brain as much as I could. And at times I was able to sit there and listen to him while he passionately explained something. But the knowledge he had and what he was able to pass on and the things that I was able to learn from him have been huge. And so his impact on my career, I don't know where I'd be if I were somewhere else. Mm-hmm. And so I'm fortunate that I'm here and I was able to learn from a guy that I've been watching since I was in middle school.
And now you have LP. You have LP.
That's right.
He'll give you all the advice, just not golf advice.
Not golf advice.
I think we have one more fan question.
Yeah, I got a young Cowboys fan here. I got Carson here with a question for you guys.
With Halloween coming up, what will y'all be?
Oh, wow.
LP, do you do
LP?
family costumes?
Yeah, because you've got the kids.
I do. We actually looked at that today with my son. He wants to be a dinosaur.
Oh my goodness! Now,
And
where do
my-
you find a dinosaur costume
Well,
for kids?
Amazon.
My wife's got
Amazon.com?
this
Okay.
thing on Amazon that you can get, really things fast.
Okay.
And and she's really good at that. But I don't know what I'm going to be. I've been like I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah. What about Annabelle?
Annabelle, I think she wants to be a witch.
A witch?
Nice.
Okay.
She's full on Halloween mode. But I don't know what we're going to be.
Jeff, what's the
Brooke,
last
Brooke
thing
is yelling it out.
Brooke,
Oh,
The Incredibles.
The Incredibles.
That's what we wanted to do.
Awesome.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh, that's
Mr.
going to be
Incredible.
awesome.
Yeah,
Jeff,
I feel
what's
like
the
Brooke
last
has
thing?
the good pictures. We'll have to see these because I'm assuming they're legendary
Yeah,
in years past.
if LP doesn't do it, we're counting on you, Brooke, to share this social media so that we can let Cowboys Nation see LP dressed up as Mr. Incredible.
Yeah. What were some of your
In
best
tights.
costumes growing up?
Well, fun fact about Jeff. I have never, not once in my lifetime, ever dressed up for Halloween. I know.
Oh my
I know.
goodness, are you from Canada or something?
I know. That's weird. I know. But
Just like fully
I don't
opposed?
know why. No, I'm not opposed to it at all. I just, when I was a kid, we just never did. And I'm not sure why. We just never did. And now I feel like if I were to start, I'd have to go like all the way back, and like conjure up my childhood and think of some, childlike hero I had to dress up as. But I did scare a child last year who came to my door, and I didn't even wear anything. So, I have that
But you
going
hand
for me.
out the cool candy.
Yeah,
the
I
big
opened the door and the
pieces,
kid
yeah.
started crying and ran away.
Oh my goodness! Wow.
And I was smiling, so I don't know what that says about me. But
yeah.
LP, you need to help him out. I think we need this year to be the year that he gets a good costume. And you said you dress up as a childlike hero. Who
Yeah.
wore some of those heroes?
Man, well, that's the thing. It's like I have to go back to my childhood and think of who.
Go back to your inner child.
Yeah, like who were my heroes? And gosh, maybe Batman. I'm a pretty.
Oh, that would be
that's a
cool.
good
I'm
one.
a pretty
Yeah.
big Batman fan.
Yeah.
Because
But be the
he-
Michael
he-
Keaton Batman and not the
No, see,
or Christian
I'm a Christian Bale kind of guy.
Christian Bale.
Like when I grew up, that was, and just recently he was still Batman.
Right,
recently,
right.
so I'd probably be Christian Bale Batman. The voice, man, the voice just hits you.
LP, what were some of the good ones that you can remember you wore growing up?
Growing up, I really like the Punisher.
Ooh.
And obviously our punter got nicknamed the Puntisher.
That's
Yes.
right. Mhm, Chris Jones. That's awesome.
Dude, you need to get a shirt now with both of them.
Yeah. And then, Spider-Man, obviously, all those comics. I'm trying to remember. Wolverine I collected these, the actual comics, the little books. And I collected the Wolverines when they came out. So this is, mid-'80s, late '80s. And so I still have it. When I go back home to Montreal, I always look at my Wolverines.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
But Batman was a big one. Michael Keaton, even Adam West, way back when.
Oh, my gosh.
Was that the 60s, 70s?
Yes.
I enjoyed those. They played them on the reruns on TV Land every once in a while. Watch those. Yeah.
Wouldn't it be great if for the game near Halloween where the guys got to dress
They
up in
had
their
to do
costumes,
something.
but you couldn't be Wolverine because how could you deep snap with all of those blades on your hands, on the
could
edge,
block great, though.
edge of your hands?
Big, great blocker.
Yeah.
Hey, I had a question. You mentioned Chris Jones, and in my opinion, the most, I don't want to say underappreciated because he's not underappreciated by teammates and coaches, but we so take him for granted in the way that he can flip the field and field position. But we were talking about new players and changes and things, and Chris is one of the new captains this year, and so is Zach Martin, who takes Jason Witten's place for offense and Chris Jones for special teams. In your opinion, Jeff, why are those great choices?
Well, with Chris, you said it. He's not underappreciated, but you often don't consider how consistent and how spectacular his leg is. And then the off-season work that he does and the way he practices and prepares and things like that. He's there for every captain's workout. He's there for OTAs. And he's there at times when he doesn't need to be there. He's the guy, and he doesn't have to, but he's there because he cares and it matters to him. And then a guy like Zach, I mean, it's pretty self-evident why a guy like Zach is, he's
4 years, 4 Pro Bowls.
right.
Yeah.
And then just outside of his play, just his attitude and demeanor, and the kind of leader that he is, it means a lot to our team that he is who he is. Kind of sets the tone for us in the run game.
LP, is it gratifying when you see guys like Zach? Now, he came in obviously with high expectations as a first-round pick and all that, but when you're here a long time, you get to see these guys come in and grow on and off the field. Is he a good example of that for you as you look at the young guys?
You look at guys coming in, you look at rookies, when Zach came in, I think I was in my 10th or 11th year. You you look at first-round picks, second-round picks, you're like, all right, those guys are going to really help us this year. And then Zach came in and started from day one, made an All-Pro his rookie year.
He did, that's right.
Right, and so he was the best guard in the NFL as a rookie, which is, I don't think it's happened very often in this league, right?
Not common.
Right. And then you just the way he approaches it. He hurt his neck, I think, in the second camp or third camp, and then this year hurt his knee, and he just comes back, and you can tell like it means so much to him, and he cares about this team, he cares about his teammates, and that's what you want to see as a captain. You want to see a guy up there that, he's going to be, playing his fullest, and we appreciate that as teammates.
Yeah. Question about our other starting guard, Connor Williams, because he comes in as a day one rookie, second-round pick, and boy, it's a welcome to the NFL moment when you have to go against K'Wan Short and Dontari Poe, and with Carolina, which has such a great front seven. But Geoff, what do you see with Connor? Because you work so closely with O-line and playing next to Tyron sometimes over on the left side.
Yeah, I think a guy like Zach would be able to explain a little more about his skill set, but I've just seen a guy who has a great work ethic. I remember I was here in July, working out and stuff, and Connor was here every day working and running all day, and an athletic player who has made a lot of progress to this point from just the little time I've known him. So high expectations for sure.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. It's been fun out here at Omni Frisco for the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour, supported by Albertsons. And of course, we have to thank Papa John's. When the Cowboys win, get 50% off regular menu price pizzas the next day at papajohns.com with promo code CowboysWin. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. Not valid with any other discounts, prices, participation, delivery area, and charges may vary. But a big thank you to Albertsons tonight as well. When it comes time to shop for tailgate favorites, go to Albertsons and Tom Thumb. Get 10% off your groceries every Dallas Cowboys game day when you wear your Cowboys jersey. Albertsons and Tom Thumb, the official supermarket and pharmacy of the Dallas Cowboys. Thank you, Kristi, LP, Geoff. I'm so excited we got to do this tonight. It's been fun.
Yeah, and Brad Sham will be back for Sunday night kickoff, and very excited. This is Brad's 40th season.
That's right.
In the Cowboys radio booth.
And
so
you're 28?
It's my 28th with Cowboys radio, my 20th on the sideline. So I can't wait for the regular season. Oh, thank you. I think that's a sympathy clap for being old, but we appreciate it. And can't wait for the home opener against the Giants, Sunday night football kickoff at 7:20 Central. That's right, at AT&T Stadium.
Yeah, we have Brad 40th year, you're 28, 14th,
yeah,
4th year.
Babe is 27th, and then LP 14 and counting.
It goes by quickly, doesn't it? So thank you guys so much for coming out tonight. Thank you guys. Next week, I believe we will have Tavon Austin and Alan Hearns.
Oh, that'll be a great show.
Yes, so you'll have to join us then, and we'll be right here at Omni Frisco Neighborhood Services.